Good morning, Midwestern Mages. My name is Dylan Hartman.
My name is Brody Hansen.
And this is the Dylan and Brody Are Magic podcast. But Brody, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about what we like to call the top 20 cards of this set. Well, what's this set? Well, it's one of my favorites because I like werewolves, and that's Innistrad Midnight Hunt. A little detail about what this episode is all going to be about. We have each picked 10 cards. 10 cards that we just think are good or we like, might be good in Modern, might be kind of nice in Commander, but we're going to give you a little detail about those cards and tell you what format we think they'd be good in. But starting us off is Dylan. Dylan, what's card number 10 on your list?
Well, before I go to number 10, I would like to put in one honorable mention.
Okay.
And that is all of the basic lands from the set. They are fantastic. I just think that people pick them up. They are
nice.
Super cool. The full art. And if you get a set booster, it's one in every pack. And I think the lands...
Oh, no, regardless of what
gorgeous.
pack you get, it's going to be one in every pack.
No, I know it's going to be one in every pack.
Oh.
I'm just saying that you're going to get one in every pack. They're gorgeous lands. Just pick them up. They're super nice lands.
I have one gripe with those lands, and this is a me problem. And it happened so much at the pre-release.
Not dark enough for you?
No, I kept thinking they were swamps, and that's because I was in Obzan. And
that is funny.
Because I'm like, I need just one. So I have a swamp. How long have I had? Oh no, this is a forest.
Yeah, that is a forest. It is green on the outside.
Yep.
So my number 10 card is the Celestis. It is a 3-mana legendary artifact. And it says if it's either day nor night, if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as the Celestis enters the battlefield. And it's a tap, add 1 mana of any color, pay 3 and tap. If it's night, it becomes day. Otherwise, it becomes night. Activate only as a sorcery. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you gain 1 life. You may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. I think this card's going to be kind of interesting. It's another mana rock. But I like the idea of being able to use it as for anything that has to do with any of the new stuff that has to do with night
werewolves.
Day. Like werewolves. There's a lot of other cards like that'll be on this list too. That I think that the night and day is a really, really interesting mechanic that I think that too many people are not giving it enough credit for.
I like it because I've played with the old werewolves from Innistrad, and we haven't been doing this for a long time. We've been playing Magic for, maybe over a year now?
I know I've only been playing this game for a year or so.
Yeah. So we weren't around when Innistrad came back, but we played Commander, and I've played a lot of the werewolves in a lot of my rule decks.
Mm-hmm.
And it just bugs me where I had to sit there for a turn, didn't play the land, swung, something died, pass. Cool. They get transformed. Somebody plays Ponder.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think that a lot of the old werewolf cards are not very good, and even like now, I still don't think they're very good. A lot of the new werewolf cards, I don't think are very good. I like the idea of day-night mechanic.
Oh, I love that.
On just about everything but the werewolves.
Wow.
I don't know.
Tovolar's pretty good. It's a 3-drop that draws you stuff and hits like a truck.
He's okay.
He's not on my list.
Not on my list either. I don't like him.
No,
I don't like him.
I think there's some cards on these, and like you look at these and like, oh yeah, that'd be on anybody. Like you look at Tovolar, we know that's a good card. Doesn't mean I have to like him.
Yeah, these are more This is more of
personal.
A top 20 personal opinionated list.
If he was green-white though, I would love him. Do you want to know why?
Why?
He goes in my Telsumir deck then.
Oh, of course he would. Of course he would.
I looked at this set. I was so hyped for more wolves. Yeah, I got like
if you're
4
wolves. That's a cool one.
I know. I only got 4 wolves.
That's too bad.
I know, and they're all mono green. I think it's some good green white.
There's a lot of new wolves out of
So
this
speaking of cards I like.
Yeah, what's yours? What's your number 10 card?
My number 10 card.
And these are in no particular.
There's no
order.
particular. We're just going 10, 8, 9. I went
10, 9, 8.
Yeah, you heard me right.
Absolutely, Brody. It's all right.
It's been a long week. No. So my first card is Bloodthirsty Adversary. 1 in a red. It is a vampire. It's a 2/2. Has haste. And it says when Bloodthirsty Adversary enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 in a red any number of times. So kind of like a weird multi-kicker.
Yeah.
When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on Bloodthirsty Adversary. Then exile up to that many target instant or sorcery cards with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard and copy them, you may cast any number of those copies without paying their mana cost. So the reason I picked this, and like for me, I love Storm. Storm is fun for me to play. I also like spell slinging decks. And right now, like the current like standard and what I see coming forward is a lot of spell slinging decks. Like we look at Played with Fire. What's that blue spell that's basically opt, but instead of scrying, you consider. I think that's what it is. And then we have a lot of the what are they called? The spells from Strixhaven, copying and stuff like that. So I can see a nice like spell slinging deck with Magecraft coming out, but I feel like this, it's a 2/2 that can get bigger. You play in the early game, you copy your Play with Fire, you hit them for assumably 4 damage early game, just dome them, scry 2, look for more of your stuff. But it also hits like a truck in the late game.
Absolutely.
It's a 2/2 with haste and beginning. You pay a couple more mana this thing, well that's a 5/5 with haste.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I think that Innistrad Hunt has going for it, is there's a lot of really powerful cards in it. That's basically it. There's a lot of really powerful cards that you can slot in different decks. I don't think that it's got any one card that's just like I don't think there's any one card that's just like the chase card for the set. Yeah. Honestly,
Red and 7. Well, I think it's just because it's a Planeswalker that...
It's a good Planeswalker, but you could say the same thing about Teferi too. New Teferi.
But
he's not that good.
Not that good. He's no 3 fairy.
He is no 3 mana Teferi.
Thank God.
Yeah. I was really nervous when they said
I saw the
we're
art.
gonna have another Teferi Planes. I was like, are you serious?
Saw the art.
Oh no.
It's like, Daddy, look, a new Teferi. Puts fedora on and coat, suitcase. Daddy, where are you going? Getting cigarettes. I'm done with standard.
I'm done with standard. I'm done with modern. We're out of here.
Teferi's in here.
If I see one more Teferi in control in modern, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh, guys, look at new Teferi. Is it going to be broken? Wait a minute. They just reprinted 3 fairy and shoved them in Innistrad. What are they doing? Yeah, but that's my number 10. Dylan, what's your number 9?
My number 9 card is Vadric, Astral Archmage. He is a 1 blue-red legendary human wizard. He's a 1/2 legendary human wizard. And his ability says, if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as Vadric Astral Archmage enters the battlefield. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is Vadric's power. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, put a +1/+1 counter on Vadric. So that's what I was saying when it comes to like the Celestis.
Oh yeah,
transforming day to night, night to day.
Okay,
this would definitely fit your playstyle for
I was
going
to bring that up. Yeah,
deck.
That whole spellslinger deck, I
like,
can see.
That's a really interesting commander that you could build around. You know, it's just like how many blue-red cards give you +1/+1 counters. It's a lot of artifacts that give you counters. You know, like Ozolith and Hangerback Walker, and even like Walking Ballista you could throw in this deck.
Oh yeah.
Would be an interesting card to throw in there with like, and I think that the Celestis would be like an auto include. Just by the way, day is night, night is day, and you're just casting spells left and right. You know, swinging spells, and if you can get his power up to 3, 4, 5 mana, that's insane.
I would put this in the 99 in my Cathar deck, Cathar Storm deck.
Absolutely,
because I'm always looking for reduction. Because why play negate for one of the blue when you can just play negate for just a blue?
Absolutely. So, yeah, I think that he would be a really interesting commander. I would, if I were to build a Spellslinger deck, which I hate Spellslinger decks, but if I were to build a Spellslinger deck, Vadric would definitely be one of my choices if I were to build a Spellslinger deck. So yeah, I mean,
could you see that in modern, like in playing in a burn deck, like a blue-red Spellslinger deck, but you're playing more of the higher burn, like Lava Axe?
No. I'll tell you why. It's because there's not a whole lot of cards that are really cheap. Unless there's a lot of cards from... better question. Are there a lot of Innistrad cards that are like 1 and 2 mana that say, oh, by the way, now it's night, or now it's day?
No, like a lot of the day or night cards, they're staple to creatures.
Yeah, so if...
Oh, yeah, because he doesn't have Daybound, does he?
No, well... It becomes day when he enters.
Right, yeah, he has that. Yep.
He does become day. So Daybound is in effect, but he doesn't have like a Nightbound side. So he does not actually flip.
So he makes it day and night when he comes in. So that's,
he makes it day.
Yeah, that might be a little stretch for.
So it's tough to build around him because,
Modern,
especially in Modern, because Modern it's slinging spells as quick as you can and win by turn 4.
Especially
and if you're
like
not, what
our
are you doing?
like where we play our group, our pod meta. That's the word I'm like.
Our meta.
our shop meta.
Yeah.
Is they're fast.
It's tribal. It's blue-white control. It's Grixis. It's
there's not a whole
Hansa,
lot.
It's Burn. We've got a mix of everything.
We've got a mix, but there's no room to like build
Mama
a
Black.
stupid like dirtily. Hey, I'm bringing this little jank thing. I'm gonna try and win some games, and then you
you'd
just
be
get
surprised.
raffled.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just me. I'm bad at building modern
Absolutely.
decks.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of being bad.
What's your next card?
Yeah.
What's the next card?
This
Brody?
isn't bad.
What's number? What's? Hold on. What
We're
card?
on 9.
17.
-2?
We're doing the top 20, right?
Oh, you're adding it. No, yeah, it's top 20. We're
So I
on
did one. I did
17.
Yeah, we're on. So what's card number 17, Brody?
My number 8. My number 9. I needed sleep today. So my next card is Moonveil Regent. For 3 in a red, you get a 4/4 dragon. So on rate, 4/4 flying dragon. But that's not all. He says, whenever you cast a spell, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw a card for each of that spell's colors. So, and there's more actually. Whenever Moonveil Regent dies, it deals X damage to any target. Any target where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. So, there are a
Sounds
couple...
like a 5-color build around.
Yes. So, yeah. So there were a couple places where I saw this. One was like Modern, the kind of I could see that being slotted into Nivdalite because you're already running so many colors in that deck.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then I thought, well, of course, the Sign of the like the Dragon decks, the 5-color dragon decks. But I do kind of like this in spell slinging too because a lot of times where you're just casting spells, especially with my first pick. You want cards in your graveyard, right? You want your instants and sorceries in the graveyard. Well, you cast a couple, it's like, well, I can't really cast the rest of these spells. Why don't I just discard them, draw them, hopefully draw into bloodthirsty?
Yeah, this would also work in a Tiamat deck. My 5-color Tiamat deck would love that card, simply because that deck wants to discard a lot of cards, and then you want to just kind of bring out everything all at once with either Living Death or Patriarch's Bidding. Is you just want to just throw out as many colored cards and then just bring them all out at once and just obliterate the board.
I'm currently running this in my my Obeka Commander deck because one of the things it has is like reanimating that they go away at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really strapped for card draw on that deck because even though I'm in blue, playing large red spells just speaks to me on a primal level.
Yeah, I think that card seems pretty good.
Speaking of red and punching things and primal, what's your next card there, Dylan?
No. It's a human.
Of course it's a human. What did it be? Is this going to your modern humans deck?
It's a card that I've been looking at. But no, I'm kind of impartial to wanting to put humans on this list, as you guys can tell. But our next card on the list would be Rem Corollas, Stalwart Slayer. 1 red and a white for a legendary human knight. A 2/3 with flying and haste. If a spell would deal damage to you or another permanent you control, prevent that damage. If a spell would deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 1 instead. He's going to go on a sideboard for burn.
Oh!
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's basically the only reason I would want to put this card in this deck, and I would probably run 1 or 2 of them, because burn is all direct damage, not you're not playing against a lot of like prismatic endings, you're not playing against fatal pushes. So I think that a card like this is really just a perfect sideboard card for tribal for burn.
See, I thought you were going the whole wide and tall strategy. I wasn't thinking the defensive route with it because it's Boros, and usually when you think of that, you think just punch face.
Nope. Mantis Rider is one of the best human cards by far, and he's a 3/3 flying vigilance haste. and
I know too well.
It's such a good card, and I just don't think I could replace Mantis Rider with this card. Even adding this card, I would be slotting out a lot more of my control magic.
That's a downgrade from your Mantis Rider Alandi in that deck.
This one?
If you were to replace that, yeah.
I wouldn't replace it. I would probably
side by side.
I would take out. Well, if I'm playing against Burn, I would be taking out my Reflector Mages.
Oh yeah, because you have what are you gonna bounce?
What am I gonna bounce? Monastery Swiftspear, Goblin Guide.
You have no ETBs, do you? Do you?
What do you mean?
Like, do you have ETBs in your deck you would use to bounce it, Reflector Mage, and...
Yeah, it's one of the funnier combos is Reflector Mage, but Reflector Mage says put a creature in their opponent's hand they can't cast on their turn.
Uh-huh.
And then on your next turn, you play Meddling Mage and name that card.
Okay, that is pretty funny.
Yeah. It's just like Monastery Swiftspear.
Oh, you did that to me once. You did it in my Siege. I fought after all game.
Yeah,
it was my first game
that's
against
right.
him.
That's
all
funny.
game, I'm like struggling this entire tournament. I bring this derpy Obzan deck.
Huge dinosaur out.
Oh no, it was Elder Gargaroth. I was running like 4 Elder Gargaroth. Gargaroth. 4 Elder Gargaroth, 4 Questing Beast, 4 Siege Rhino, and then like Mana Dorks just to get that crap out. Yeah. And like I've been struggling. Finally put a Siege Rhino down, ping you, and I'm like, I got this. I can do that. I have another Siege Rhino in hand. We got this. And then you Reflector Mage, and then play Meddling Mage. I'm just like,
wait a minute, what?
Scoop.
I
couldn't do anything. Yeah, I couldn't do anything. I was dead on board.
Yeah, so Rem Corollas, definitely going to be an interesting one. It's not going to go in the main board, but I think that it's one of the perfect sideboard card for Burn.
I like that. I wasn't expecting that.
That's about all I like when I'm prospecting on that card. That's about all I could find that would be perfect for. It's like, well, I'm not going to put it in a ley line because that's stupid. Yeah. Why would I do that? And everything in humans has to be on a creature.
Yeah.
Unless it's Aether Vial, which is the only non-creature spell in the deck.
Yeah.
So I think Rem Corollas Stalwart Slayer is definitely a 10 out of 10 sideboard card for Burn. So.
Speaking of burn and damage,
oh boy.
My next card, it's not a burn card. It would go in a good burn deck, maybe. It is Florian Voldaren Scion. So 1 black and a red for a legendary creature, Vampire Noble. Noble tribal deck.
No. Yeah, let's go.
He's a 3/3 with first strike, and says at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the total amount of life your opponents, plural, lost this turn. Exile one of those cards and put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. You may play the exiled cards this turn. So this would be a card I would put in the 99 of some sort of, like maybe Corvo, a Jund deck. Maybe the, I forget his name, the guy the spider that makes everything fight. But I saw this and I'm like, that's a cool card. That seems cool.
The War Spider, right?
Yeah, the War Spider. I can't remember his name.
He'll
be on screen.
Yeah,
but I thought
he'll be on screen. He's right here.
No, it's not Lathril. It's
I can't remember his name.
Vantis or whatever. Vantis the
War Weaver.
Yeah, the War Weaver. I wanted to say War Leader.
He's a black, red, green. I think it is. Well, it'll be on screen regardless.
Yes,
so
but
you can
he's Jund. But I was thinking, like, put this in a
randomly.
Jund deck that's just good at dishing damage. But the reason I want to put this in the 99 and the Commander is because I want to play Belby with it. And Belby's that card from Commander Legends, Belby Corrupted Observer. She's
the one that has just a bunch of mana on your main phase.
Post-combat main phase.
Post-combat? Oh.
So you see the synergy there.
Oh, that's right, because if like you deal 1 damage to each of your opponents, you're just generating like 6 colorless mana.
Yeah, so it goes, she's green and a black, legendary creature, zombie elf, 2/2, and says at the beginning of each player's post-combat main phase, that player adds colorless for each of your opponents who lost life this turn. Yeah. So you play that with him, you are basically netting like 6 colorless mana that you can play with his effect.
Yep.
So you play like what's that one red, or you play like Pestilence where it does a damage to everybody, or the red version of Pestilence. I don't want to say Pyroclasm. It's, gosh, what is it?
I don't know.
It's but there's plenty of like red and black spells that just
so
deal
many cards in this game.
damage to people who you'll just take random damage from anywhere.
Yeah. Back to the card.
Yeah, but I just thought like this would be a good way of just like, yeah, he has first strike. I didn't care about the combat. I looked at that ability to just rip cards off the top of your deck, exile them, and play them. And I thought that'd be a good thing to pair with Belby, because I've been watching videos online of like people playing Commander games with them, and like one thing I was noticing, you're in black-red, you don't really have a whole lot of ramp mana, and so you deal like 9 damage to everybody. Cool, I have 9 cards I can exile. I only have like 3 mana, and I can't play any of these spells.
Right.
So with Belby, that fixes that option. But I thought it'd be a little cool thing. What do you got at your next card there, Dylan?
My next card is Denic, Pious Apprentice, another human.
Denic.
Denic, Pious Apprentice. For a white and a blue, you get a 2/3 lifelink creature. Cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities. This would be for my modern deck for sure. Whether or not, I'm still working on whether or not I should mainboard it or sideboard it.
What he flips, doesn't he?
He does. He has Disturbed. So for 2, a white and a blue, you may cast this card from your graveyard transformed for its Disturbed cost. And then it turns into Denic Pious Apparition, which is a spirit soldier with flying. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into graveyards from anywhere, investigate. And it says this ability triggers only once each turn, so you're going to create a colorless clue artifact with pay to sack this artifact, draw a card. If Denic Pious Apparition be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So, some value with Denic, being able to cast it from your graveyard if you have nothing else to cast. If you got a 4-mana sink, if you got no cards in your hand, you're just like, all right, well, I can just cast this. Otherwise, good against graveyards.
Yeah.
Any graveyard deck, it's like 2 mana, throw it in there. But I mean, the other thing, I'm kind of between him and Lavinia. Lavinia is also really good. It's just Gaddock T for blue and white for humans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's a really good. Denic is really good. I think that Denic needs some. Denic is pretty cool. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this card, but
I saw that. I'm like,
lifelink is neat.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, that's pretty nice. I can see that being like, it'll put work in. I saw that at the pre-release, and the person I was fighting was able to do the spirits graveyard deck basically.
Yeah.
And I got my ass handed to me on a silver platter.
Absolutely. What's your next card, Brody?
Speaking of silver.
Oh boy!
I have to put a little.
Are we gonna be talking about? Hold on, let me guess.
I gotta put inserts into everything to
Moon
move this
Silver Key.
Yes, I have to move this conversation somehow by putting dumb inserts into
dumb
it.
Inserts?
Yep.
Yeah.
Moon Silver Key is my next card.
You can't just cut it and
no,
just like.
No, I just can't. We just can't just go to it. I had to have some sort of weird segue that involves a pun or
Stay
some sort.
tuned for every time we make a cut. We'll use a soundboard effect.
We'll be right back after these messages. Use a commercial break.
Yeah, I know.
Sponsor me, Dr. Pepper, please.
No. Oh my god.
Anyways, Moon Silver Key. 2-drop. It's an artifact that pay 1, tap, sacrifice Moon Silver Key. Search your library for an artifact card with a mana ability or a basic land card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. So, I love this card for Commander, and I look at this for decks that don't have green, that struggle with ramp, like mono red, mono blue. This is just a way to either get your Soul Ring, combo piece, mana, just any sort of accelerant, basically, or a finisher. This is a nice tutorable piece that can still stay on the field. And if you usually in those colorless, or not colorless decks, those decks that just have like the one color or the colors that don't have green that can't ramp, they usually have some weird way of interacting with artifacts that lets them tap things for mana. Like in here, like Urza, for example, he can tap his artifacts for blue mana, basically. Mm-hmm. Or I think it's Inspiring Statuary that lets you tap your artifacts for mana.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know how many times I've actually just left my Expedition map on the field and used it as a mana rock.
Yeah, no, Moon Silver Key, I think that, for tutoring up artifacts, that's sweet. I mean, you're going to be tutoring up Soul Ring, you're going to be tutoring up Mana Crypt, any of your mana rocks, really. I mean,
Yeah,
what is it?
Any mana ability.
Oh, yeah, so you can tutor up Isochron Scepter, you can tutor up. You can tutor up your artifact combo pieces. I know you could with Sovala. I mean, you could tutor up that one sword that has that activated ability.
Yes,
it gives you your infinite.
And no, any of the mantles I can tutor up.
That's true.
Any of the untapper pieces I can with my Sovala deck. That's where I immediately slotted that into.
Yeah, Moonsilver Key is a sweet card. Yeah, for any deck that's running artifacts with activated abilities, especially like any Brea deck would want that.
Oh yes, no, essentially. But I saw this, I'm like, okay, I like that. It's a good thing to search up your combo pieces. But it also just fixes your mana too in like a mono red deck where it's like, play this, I couldn't get my Soul Ring or one of my big mana accelerant rocks or whatever, or I just need a land.
Yeah.
At any point, you can just sack this thing and go get a land when you're missing your land drops. And it gives you that shuffle, which a lot of decks that are struggling, I can't get my lands, I'm just drawing creatures. Something, just give me a nice shuffle and reset this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of aspects that I think Moonsilver Key is a useful card.
It's versatile.
It's definitely not the best tutor in the game by any margin.
No.
Which is actually a good thing.
It's not like...
It's not... demonic tutor?
Oh, it's not like sack it, search your library for a land or artifact and just crap it on the field.
Does it say reveal when you do it?
I believe so. Yeah, you reveal it. Like any other tutor, you would reveal it, but...
Does it go on the top or does it go in your hand?
It goes in your hand, which, that's nice.
That's actually better. I like that better than going on the top. Because, like, if you look at cards like Mystical Tutor, Enlightened Tutor, and Vampiric Tutor, they put them on the top of your library.
Vampiric Tutor, I think, puts it in your hand.
Vampiric Tutor puts it on top of your library, and Demonic Tutor puts it in your hand.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. And Grim Tutor puts it in your hand. So, those three are the big ones that put it on top of your library. So Enlightened Tutor is
Imperial
artifact...
Seal.
I've never seen an Imperial Seal.
Nobody has money for an Imperial.
Any of my games.
I've seen one guy have an Imperial Seal.
Was it Bo?
Yes, it was Bo.
Okay.
Bo's another one of our friends who we play Commander with. Bo's always rolling in the high end stuff.
Yeah,
I've seen him drop his entire hand full of like 0-drop artifacts, and then be like, "All right, that's my turn."
Yeah. So he's another really really cool player. So.
Yep.
But no, like I was saying though, like the tutor, being able to tutor 2 mana tutoring an artifact to your hand for the cost of a key. It's pretty. It's cool.
I like it. It's a good fixing card that just smooths out stuff or helps you in a bind.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next card on the list will be Enduring Angel. So this is pretty much just for Commander. Enduring Angel is 2 white, an angel, a 3/3 angel with flying and double strike. It says you have hexproof, which is pretty sweet.
Leyline on a body.
Leyline on a body. If your life total would be reduced to 0 or less, instead transform Enduring Angel and your life total becomes 3. Then, if Enduring Angel didn't transform this way, you lose the game. So that's interesting. And then it's going to be transforming into an Angelic Enforcer. Angelic Enforcer is a flying, also says you have hexproof, and it says Angelic Enforcer's power and toughness are equal to your life total. So it'll start out as a 3/3 when you die, and then you
should have died.
So yeah, and then it says whenever Angelic Enforcer attacks, double your life total, which is
go 3
really
6,
oddly
12.
gimped lifelink.
Yeah,
just double your life total. That's cool.
I saw this, and
that's a super cool card.
It's cool. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I saw this thing. I'm like, why is this a mythic? Why does it have so many hoops? I wish this... I get why you gain hexproof, so that when you die, or you go down to 3 life, you just don't get bolted right away.
Yep.
But I wish this had some sort of protection itself.
No, I don't think it needs it. Because, like, even cards like... there's a lot of angels that give protection to everything else. Like, a lot of the angel archetype, like, defender to archetype part is play this card, bounce these cards to, exile these cards, and then if she dies, then they all come back.
Yeah. Angels have, like, Avacyn and all that stuff.
I think that Enduring Angel, it definitely fits the archetype of what angel wants, what this angel wants, which is you're going to be protected, you're not going to die, and unless they kill it, you're going to be fine. And then as soon as it transforms, double your life total every time it attacks? What? I mean, if you're slotting this in a lifelink deck, and you're already gaining a ton of life, and then you attack with this chick, you could gain, upwards of 15 to 20 life a turn. Or more. Like, the first time you swing with it, you can gain a ton of life. And then you're getting like 30 life, because it just says double. It doesn't have lifelink. It just says double your life total.
Yeah,
which is a cool ability. I really like this card. I hope I'll get to see that card in more decks.
I wish I don't know, like, it seems too high costed for me, but it serves that purpose and stuff. But I saw this card, and the first thing that popped in my head was that meme of like it protect, it hit, it save.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it wants to do, which isn't that bad. So yeah.
Like I've seen some like on YouTube. There's always those previews of like the Commander games of people playing this stuff, and like just matches. And I've seen that thing, and I've seen people look at this being like, I have no way of killing this person now.
Yeah. So yeah, what's your next card?
My next
on the list.
Next on the list. Well, it'll probably make you happy. It's a human.
A human?
A human.
Uh-oh.
It's not Kuma human.
What kind of human?
Well, it is...
Is it a token human?
No. No, it's not. It doesn't make tokens.
It doesn't make tokens?
No. It's...
That's okay.
Adelin's Splendid Cathar. For 1 white, you get a legendary human knight with vigilance. Its power is star 4.
Oh, I know this one.
I like this one.
Yes.
And Adelin says Adelin's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. So she'll come down and she'll be a 1/4 if it's just by herself.
Absolutely.
But whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker they control. So, you want to know where I thought of putting this in?
Gimped Najila. It is Gimped Najila.
Kinda. they took away one of her swords and gave her a shield.
Like, what is she doing, though? This is too powerful.
It's like, we gotta make this less powerful. We'll make it mono white, alright. We'll make it a star 4, alright. And we'll take away that Wooburg ability because that's a no-go.
We'll take away the warrior aspect.
Yes. We'll make him a knight. Her.
Yeah. No, a human, that's cool.
I saw this card and I'm like, okay, I like this card. Where am I gonna put it?
Humans.
Yeah, humans.
Modern
yes.
humans.
Modern humans. Yeah, I can see this being a mod because you swing a lot and that just builds a board that just...
Yeah, and with humans, you already have a pretty big board as it is. So,
yes.
like, I could see slotting out 1 or 2 reflector mages and putting that in.
Reflector mage is just your go-to to be like, all right,
yeah,
he's not doing much.
If you're wanting to bounce permanence, then reflector mage is the way to go. But if you want to go full aggression, I mean, you can easily slot that card out, or slot out a card like like meddling mage. You could slot out. I'm sure. Yeah. There's ways around it.
There's certain things.
Even like cards like. That are like Kitesail Freebooter are situational cards.
That's what I was thinking.
I only have like 2 in the deck. It's like a really situational card that's pretty easy to slot out if you have the mana. Because if you have 3 mana on turn 2 with like if you're playing Land Noble Hierarch, if you have 3 mana by turn 2, then you're going to be kind of where you want to be. And that actually might be a better card than General Ferris even, because I've been looking at ways to maybe slot out General Ferris, because I thought that General Ferris was a sweet card that came out in Modern Horizons 2, making 4/4 golems every time you cast multicolored spells. That's a really awesome effect, but I think that it's really doesn't.
He's
work.
situational.
It's so situational because he's tough to play in a control matchup.
Oh,
because
yeah.
as soon as someone Archmage's charms your golem, you're just like, all right, well, I lose to my own stuff.
Yeah, there goes my own. The thing I like about her, though, is that she's a star 4. She is hard to get rid of. Bolting doesn't work. Shocking doesn't work. I think you have to, crack a fetch land and then fatal push her, but...
Yeah, 4 toughness. That's tough to get around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not easy. So
I kind of wish she had haste, but she's in white, just so you can play her swing and make a token, but...
Yeah.
She does work. She's a good 3-drop. Comes in, will build your board. I also thought of putting this in Winona, but
Winona, yeah.
But she makes humans and not. I wish they were like night tokens. If they were night tokens, this would be an instant slam dunk in Winona.
Well, it works with humans because the token that she makes is a human. So so that actually immediately works with the modern deck because it's putting. Especially when it works with Thali's Lieutenant. Yeah. Put counter on every human you control.
Also, token commander decks, if you're just always populating and it's just a good... It's one of those nice white cards that make tokens and is big and just does work.
Yeah, the card almost makes me want to move more towards Bant humans rather than 5-color.
Oh, I love Bant.
Bant humans or even 4-color humans and just get rid of Kitesail.
Yeah.
Is almost better. And just slotting just... a 4-color humans, so I think that's a really cool card. Yeah.
What do you got next for us?
Let's see here. I've got I got Vanquish the Horde. Vanquish the Horde is a sweet card. 6 white.
Okay.
Destroy all creatures.
So it's a board wipe that's overly costed.
It is an overly costed board wipe. However, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield.
So it's a
It's a 2 mana board wipe.
It's a 2 mana Blasphemous Act.
It is excellent. It's better than Blasphemous Act, though.
Blasphemous Act is just 1 mana, though.
Yeah, but destroy all creatures is better than dealing 13 damage each creature.
How many creatures have more than 13 health in our Eldrazi?
But how many Eldrazi have more than 13 health? A lot of them only have 10 or 12.
That's true. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's cheaper Blasphemous Act in white. Yeah, so this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Yeah, destroy all creatures. Very basic. Wrath of God, Damnation.
Where are you playing this?
Commander.
Oh,
yeah. I think that the thing is that I couldn't play this in Modern because all my Modern decks are very creature heavy. As soon as I put this in Humans, I'd be sad because as soon as I blow up my own board, the game is over.
I could see
There's
this
no point in putting
being
this in
a teching control, like in a control deck. If you know you're going against like a very wide deck.
Yeah.
Like your human, if I'm squaring against you in that Humans deck and I'm playing control,
yeah,
I would love to slide that in, just as like a 2-drop board wipe.
Well, yeah. I mean that's the only reason it's on this list is because it's a 2 mana board wipe.
Yeah.
I mean if you're playing Commander, you're playing against 3 other players.
I think it's always going to be 2 mana.
Whoever's playing the creature deck that makes a lot of tokens,
Which there's always one.
There's always somebody. I know because I'm one of them most of the time. Destroy all creatures for 2 mana. That's
still pretty good.
That's an excellent card. Vanquish the Horde. So, yeah. Moving on to your next card, Brody.
Well, it's another human.
All right.
But he's a werewolf
Seems
too.
like there's a lot of humans.
Well,
in this
there's
set.
What's that? The set of Innistrad where the humans have to fight for their life against the monsters.
Against the monsters, not.
But he's a werewolf.
I was very excited about this set coming out.
There's
so many humans.
I was more. You were pumped for the humans. Me, I'm like, give me wolves. You get 4 wolves and one that's a mythic that's a 2-drop.
And like neither of us really cared about the werewolves.
I saw them. I might make a standard werewolf deck, but we'll see. But this guy I like. Brutal Cathar.
Oh yeah, this one's a good one.
Yeah, he's good. 2 and a white. You get a human soldier werewolf that's a 2/2. That says when this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar, exile a creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. So it's kind of a what the heck's that called?
Kite Sail Freebooter.
That
targets humans or that targets creatures.
Yep. Or what's that one enchantment that does the same thing? There's so many of them.
There's so many. Oblivion Ring.
Oblivion Ring. That's what I was thinking of. The ring. Oh, it's like Oblivion Ring on a human that's a 2/2.
Yeah.
Then when he transforms, he's a 3/3 with first strike, and he has ward pay 3 life.
Huh. It's pretty good.
That is very good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I am like right now. I'm thinking like Coven's gonna be a really good thing in standard right now.
Oh yeah.
So I'm picking these up, and I'm building like this. I can't decide if I want to go Celestis or Naya. Naya is red, blue, or red, green, white, and Celestis is just green, white. But I like this as a way of just hitting hard, transforming, and then just hitting face. It's fast, it's low to the ground, but I like it. And taking away your opponent's like resources, you get a couple of these on the field. You get like 2 or 3 of these on the field. You're taking away their blockers and swinging in for 3 every time or 2. It does work. And that deck too with Coven, you get enough triggers, you're off to the races.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he's just this nice little rare that does work. I like it. This is my first werewolf, and I was really hyped for the werewolves. I just wish that he, instead of, I thought I can slap this into my Tulsimir deck because a lot of the cards still work with werewolves.
Yeah.
It had to be red. It had to be red.
I know.
I saw the white. I'm like, oh, like I was on the previews. I'm like, wait, white? Come on, flip red. Nope, he's dead to me.
Nope.
Can't play as a commander.
Doesn't work.
What do you got next for us?
One of my favorite sideboard cards in Modern by far, Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle got a reprint, which I think is sweet because it was a little over $10 a piece when I went to buy them, and I decided not to buy them.
Yeah, they were in between like 5 and 10 depending on which version you were getting.
I just like reprints of cards and make it a little bit more accessible for other players.
I love when they do that.
Making cards more accessible for players is the best way to go about it.
When reprint dual lands.
Yeah, so Pithing Needle, I'm sure most people know, but for those who do not, Pithing Needle is a 1-mana artifact. As Pithing Needle enters the battlefield, choose a card. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they are mana abilities. So you're targeting Stoneforge Mystic. You're targeting your elementals. You're targeting Ragavan. You're targeting, all of these good cards that have all these cool activated abilities. You're Teferi, mini Teferi. You're targeting
a lot of just problems.
A lot of problems. Teferi's Ragavan, Stoneforge.
I like that it's 1 mana too, so you can play multiples of these and just name different targets.
Yeah. This is Meddling Mage's big brother. This
is Meddling Mage's shotgun.
No, this is big brother. It's cheaper, easier to play.
It's an artifact, though.
It's an artifact.
It's not living. It's not a brother, though.
Doesn't matter. We're talking about cards here, Brody.
You're right.
We're talking about card abilities here.
I run this card, and you haven't fought against this deck yet, because I haven't come to Modern in a long time, but remember that mono-white prison deck I was talking about with the Soul Sister shell?
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I run 4 of these in there.
4 Pithing Needles is awesome.
So the basic strategy of that deck is just to play Soul Sisters and then just shut down your opponent. And, but no, I love this card. I've started to slot this in more to, this is a sideboard card.
This is a great card for Moonsilver Key, too.
Oh,
Moonsilver Key. Wait for them to play the big activated ability threat.
I wouldn't play that. I wouldn't play Moonsilver Key in Modern. I don't think. I think Moonsilver was just a
no.
Commander. Oh yeah, Commander. Yeah,
no, so you have one in Commander. You just put a Pithing Needle in your library, and you just see them play the big problem.
It doesn't have a mana ability.
Oh, it doesn't have an activated ability.
Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah. Oh my gosh! If Moonsilver Key was just search for any land or artifact,
I think it would be a little bit more than.
I think it would be
mana to fetch.
I don't think it would be an uncommon either.
No.
But I do love they've reprinted Pithing Needle. I don't like the new art though.
I do. I actually like it.
I don't like the zombie old man having his skin pulled away.
It is what it is. It's on theme. It's definitely on theme.
No.
So Brody, what's your next card?
My next.
Yeah, we only got a couple more left.
Yeah, we only got a couple more. My next card is what I call my draft all-star. So I've been drafting a whole lot on Arena and doing pre-releases and stuff like that. I've just been trying to jam as much of this set as I can. And if I'm in any kind of white coloration, I will pick this up. I think this is a good card in Standard, Modern, and Commander. This is like my number 1 pick, basically. That's why it's like halfway through my list. It's Sunset Revival. No, Revelry. I can't read today. It is 1 in a white, sorcery, and it says, if an opponent has more life than you, you gain 4 life. If an opponent controls more creatures than you, create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens. And if an opponent has more cards in hand than you, you draw a card. So this is kind of like a modal card, except instead of picking cards, you just get those effects. This is a great card if you're on the back foot, especially in Commander, because usually somebody's always going to have more creatures than you. Someone at that table is going to have more cards than you, and someone's going to have more life than you. So in Commander, 9 times out of 10, you're getting each one of these effects. In Modern, if you're behind, this just helps slots into that. It's just 2 mana, gain life, draw a card. It replaces itself, and it makes 2 bodies on the way in.
Yeah, value will always be good.
Oh, yeah, no, this is just a straight value piece. I don't know how many times this card has saved me in drafts over the week.
Yeah.
Just playing this, and I am gold. Like, it just fills that slot where, and like a lot of people right now are just building those wide boards.
Absolutely,
in draft. And I've played 2 of these, caught up to them, gained either equal, or I've drawn those cards back. But I just think this is a very versatile card that I think is going to slot into Commander. We might see a little bit of it in Modern. I think it's going to be a standard staple right now.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to slot right in and be a really good card.
Yeah, no, that's a good card. I mean, gaining life is never going to be frowned upon.
No.
Not in Commander, at least.
I like how it just replaces itself, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And
absolutely.
If you're playing this card, you're going to get one of those effects.
Right.
But the big thing is your opponent just hit you for 6. They have 3 things on the board, and they have 4 more cards in your hand. You draw this, you play that, and you catch right back up. This is a straight up catch up card that just puts you ahead or
for only 2 mana. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's 2 mana. You get 3 effects for 2 mana essentially, which is awesome. All right, what do we got next?
Well, next card for me is Ludwig Necrogenius. Ludwig Necrogenius is a blue-black human wizard for 2/3 human wizard for blue and a black. And his ability says, whenever Ludwig Necrogenius enters a battlefield or attacks, mill a card. And then you can pay X blue blue black black, exile X creature cards from your graveyard, transform Ludwig, X can't be 0, activate only as a sorcery. And then he will transform. When you use this ability, he'll transform into Oleg Ludwig's Hubris. So it's a 4/4 zombie. And it says, as this creature transforms into Oleg Ludwig's Hubris, it becomes a copy of a creature card exiled with it, except its name is Oleg Ludwig's Hubris. It's 4/4, and it's a legendary blue and black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on Oleg equal to the number of creature cards exiled with it. Yeah. So this card doesn't seem like much at first. I did a little bit of build around with this card online. It's really good.
And you're playing this in Commander?
Yes, yeah, absolutely in Commander. You're exiling. You might not. You actually could. You could potentially play this, but it's to get his effect. It's 5 mana.
Yeah, I feel like in Standard right now, what are you gonna duct tape onto this thing? Modern, I think that's.
I don't play enough Standard, so I don't know.
That's what I'm. Like,
I don't play
between the two of us.
Standard.
I'm the Standard player.
Yeah. I don't play Standard.
Like
at all.
in Standard, there's nothing like that. There's that big thing you want to duct tape this onto.
Yeah,
especially in those colors.
This is way better for Commander.
This is a straight Commander card.
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't print this if they're just. This is Commander.
First thing first. Blue black, 2 mana for a Commander card.
Very cheap.
Very cheap, easy to throw out. You're gonna throw them out. You're gonna mill a card, and then you have a 2/3 body.
Yep.
That's pretty great for a turn 1. You won't be able to do a whole lot until you hit 5 mana, because even with colorless mana, you won't be able to hit this.
They really balance this card out. I think you might be just a little bit over
black, blue black X. It says exile X creatures cards from your graveyard. So this is a graveyard deck. So you're going to be wanting to fill up your graveyard with choice creatures.
Yep. Eldrazi.
I think that you're going to be looking for more ability cards.
Okay.
Cards that have really powerful abilities.
Yeah.
So, because you're going to be... So what happens is, I don't think you're going to be having any more than one card. I think that you're going to be wanting to exile one creature from your graveyard. You're going to transform him. He's going to become that creature. Otherwise, he's just so that he'll just be a 5/5 copy of that creature with the abilities.
Right.
So I think that your best cards are going to be ones that have really powerful abilities. So It That Betrays is a really strong one. It's got
12 mana.
Yeah, 12 mana.
11.
And you're going to be stealing people's permanents.
Yeah, it has Annihilator too, so he gets that Annihilator stuff.
Yeah, so you're going to Annihilator 2.
Or
making him sack permanents, and then you're going to steal those permanents.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then if you need to, flip them back, if you don't like it anymore.
Can you flip it back?
If you blink it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, you're in blue, so
a
that
card
has
like
that.
Ghostly Flicker. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, Ghostly Flicker would work. You're bouncing the permanent. He comes back on front face, and you can use his ability again. I think cards like him would work pretty well for cards with powerful abilities in blue and black.
You are in blue and black, so you do have those are two colors that are good with they have high graveyard synergy.
Thinking of some cards like.
I was gonna say they also have ways of you can get to that effect really fast because you have Cabal Coffers, Crypt Ghast, and other effects like that, where X can just be a huge number as well.
Yeah, one of my favorite cards that I thought building around with this guy would be hilarious would be Phage, the Untouchable.
That's not funny. That's not funny at all.
It's really funny.
No, I don't.
Phage says she basically you lose the game if you cast her from anywhere but your hand.
Don't touch me.
But if you exile her from your graveyard and you put it underneath, he
just gains the effect.
He just gains the effect. So he's just a 5/5 that says when this creature deals combat damage to a player, they lose the game, which is hilarious.
No, that's not funny at all.
It's funny the first time, I'm sure.
You get targeted.
Entomb Phage, pay 5 mana, put it under Ludwig, and then Ludwig's all right, you're dead.
One thing I like about this too is that a lot of commanders nowadays, how they balance them is come in and they have a tap ability. He doesn't. You can literally just play this thing on turn 8 or whatever, pump the mana into them and duct tape whatever you want and get those effects right away.
Yeah. A card like Phage, which is all attack based, won't gain anything from it, and Annihilate the Hit Tape Betrays doesn't really do a whole lot with that.
Duct tape shield into this motherfucker.
Oh, ick.
Do Consecrated Sphinx and Jingataxius.
Oh, gross. That would be horrible.
That'd be amazing.
That would be gross. Well, it doesn't gain the effects of all of their abilities. It only gains the effect... Yeah, so it just becomes one of the creatures.
Oh, one. My bad.
It just gets +1/+1 counters.
But yeah, it's like people get rid of... for instance, I play Consecrated Sphinx. They blow up Consecrated Sphinx. They ignore Ludwig. Activate Ludwig. I have a Consecrated Sphinx again. Slap a pair of boots on this thing.
Every time... Yeah, card draw. I mean, you could throw... Jingataxius would be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody doesn't have a hand anymore. I have a whole hand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blue cards you could work with this.
There is.
Blue and black is pretty sweet.
Speaking of blue cards, would be really great with a Graveyard Ludwig deck. Is oh Jesus, I'm horrible with words today. Partitiongeist.
Partitiongeist?
Thank you.
Yeah.
2 and a blue for a Spirit Knight. Flying. Other spirits you control have +1/+1. Putting this in my Kaikar deck.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that caught me. This is the thing that really got me. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less. I play a lot of graveyard decks. Graveyard decks are probably one of my favorite archetypes to play.
Yep.
Anything that reduces... Like, one of my favorite cards is Gravebreaker Lamia. It's one of my favorite cards of all time. I love the art. I love what it does. It's a good lifelinker, and it reduces the cost of stuff. I like this card because it just goes in almost all my graveyard decks that just reduce spells. If you're in that Ludwig deck, you're going to be playing a lot of like just reanimator spells, right? Or stuff that just brings stuff back from the graveyard.
Essentially.
Yeah. This goes great in there.
Yeah.
Just reduces it. But no, I think this is a good card for this. I'm willing to bet there's going to be a standard humans deck right now, or a standard spirits deck. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's fine.
A good lord is not bad, but something that reduces the cost, especially with the eternal, or not the eternalize. What's the new keyword that brings stuff back for spirits?
I think it's Decayed.
No, Decade's what the zombies have.
I don't know. I don't know what the zombies have.
The zombies have Decade. I can't.
Oh no, I don't know what the spirits have.
I can't remember what the spirits have. But yeah, I think it's gonna be
Disturb.
Yes, Disturb. It's Disturb. Yeah, you use this, and it just reduces Disturb cost. The thing is, this isn't a legendary. You put a couple of these out there, and a lot of the Disturb costs, they're high mana, right? They're like 5 and 2 white.
Yeah, I know Denic Pious Apprentice is 4.
Yeah.
It's 2 blue white.
Let's just make that blue white then with 2 of these.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a great card. I'll see it a lot in Commander. We might see it in like a Spirits deck too. Oh, it's a Spirit Lord. It's going in Spirit deck. But I feel like we'll see a lot of this.
Yeah.
So, what do we got next?
One of my favorite cards from the set by far was definitely the Meathook Massacre. Oh, it's so cool. It is just upgraded Toxic Deluge. It is
with a blood artist.
With a blood artist on it, man. It is so cool. So Meathook Massacre, a legendary enchantment for X black. When the Meathook Massacre enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X until end of turn. When a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. Wow, there's a lot on this card.
There's a lot to unpack there.
It's so good. Gets around Indestructible. Gets around the idea... Well, Toxic Deluge, for one thing, my biggest downside was that you're losing life when you play it. So you can Toxic Deluge for 20, but you're going to lose 20 life. You know, that sucks.
You're biting that bullet.
You're biting the bullet. But the thing is that Meathook Massacre, you can kill everything on the board, and then you're going to gain a life for everybody for every creature that dies, and you're going to, and you're going to make all your opponents lose life for each creature that dies.
Well, I just see this in, like, against token decks, and you're the black deck. And it's just like, all right, pay 4, board wipe, and then just gain, like, 20 life. And your opponents lose 20 life.
So good. It's so good. I don't have a whole lot to say other than this is going to be a good commander card in every black deck.
I am going to slot this into my Hapatra deck.
It's a good board wipe.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
But like the one thing my Hapatra deck does is it deals with -1/-1 counters. But there's a point too where I forget what it's called. I forget what the witch is called, but she comes in and at the beginning of your upkeep you put a -1/-1 counter on every creature. your snakes are all 1/1s. So you basically board wipe yourself, but you double the amount of snakes you have.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, too, I have a Blood Artist on the field or a Zulaport Cutthroat. Well, those are 1/1s. So I'll usually deal like 10 damage and they're out the door and I can't get them back.
Right.
That gets around it to where if I have that on the field, cast it for 1, kill all my snakes, kill maybe a bunch of tokens too, deal a bunch of damage to everybody, gain like 15 life, play my Witch, while I keep making those snakes, and I keep pinging everybody.
Right.
It's that way. It's another finisher for that deck, but I think this is a great commander card. I could see this being played in a little bit of Modern too.
Yeah, because you're gaining a life for each creature that your opponent controls that dies, and then and then each opponent's going to lose a life for each of your creatures that die.
Yeah.
So I think that if you have heavy creatures and you just want to sack them all for the greater good and just deal a ton of damage to all your opponents,
the greater good.
The air quotes greater good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sacrificing zombie tokens and all that. I think that one of the coolest decks this would go into is that new precon. It was
the zombie one.
His name, yeah. His
I forget his name. I didn't pay attention to that. I saw that precon and I'm like, I want that Durdle Turtle.
Gritlock or something like that.
So all I saw was the Durdle Turtle.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but it's Undead Unleashed Commander. But his ability says whenever a zombie control dies, make a zombie with Decay.
Yeah.
So, it's a really good combo because you're just killing all your zombies. You're making a bunch of more tokens. But I think that.
Oh, you know what deck that would be great in? Azani of the Dreadtide or whatever, the black-blue commander from Commander Legends that has the Encore ability.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because usually when you play that card, you're bringing back like Fleshbag Marauders or cards that have like leave the field triggers. You play Fleshbag Marauders, you encore the Fleshbag Marauders. You have 3 Fleshbag Marauders. Then everybody sacks 3 things. Then
sacrifice all your Fleshbag Marauders.
Yeah, it just works so good.
That would be interesting. Yeah, that's a neat build around. So I got one more. But I think you got one too. You got 2 more?
I got this and I got 2 more and then you got 1 more.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
So the next card.
Almost there, guys.
I love. Yeah, almost there.
Almost there, guys.
We're almost at the finish line. I'm gonna trip and fall and skin my knees.
Well, hopefully not. You're sitting in a chair.
If
you do, I would be impressed.
I'm on the floor.
And you're wearing jeans.
I'm wearing jeans.
This would be impressive, especially on hardwood floor.
Wouldn't be the first time I busted my leg open on hardwood floor. All right, my card is Poppet Stitcher. I love this card. 2 and a blue for a human wizard that says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 black zombie creature with Decay. And Decay, and we haven't gone over it yet, is it can't be blocked when this creature attacks, sacrifice at the end of combat. Mm-hmm. So it goes great with the Meathook Massacre.
That's awesome.
Yes. A lot of people were griping on Decay. I actually like it a lot. It's versatile to where if you just want to build this board and just swing in.
Yeah.
But and then Poppet Stitcher also has at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more creature tokens, you may transform Poppet Stitcher. And when he transforms, he becomes Poppet Factory. I'm almost certain somebody at WotC can't spell puppet right, and so they just put an O and just said screw it. They got tired of people correcting him. It's like, correct me now, huh?
It's official. It's official.
God dang it,
Did not get through editing. It got pushed on.
No, he is the editor. He's like, make fun of me spelling Poppet now. It's Puppet Jeff.
Why does his name have to be Jeff?
I don't know. My name is Jeff. That's why.
That's bad.
Yes.
Brody, don't ever do that again.
I'm going to do it several more times now after this.
No.
Anyways.
Stop.
Poppet Factory is an artifact that says creature tokens lose all abilities, so your zombies no longer have decay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, and their base power and toughness is 3/3.
Pretty good.
Yep, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you may transform Poppet Factory. So, this is 100% going in my Cathar deck, and you've played against it where I'm running all these things just so you play an instant sorcery, make an X token. But a lot of the times the tokens are either 2/2s, 1/3, or a 1/1.
Exactly.
Screw it, I want all 3/3s that I'm hitting you in the face with.
No kidding, but then your Cathar loses his ability.
They're still spirits.
Yeah.
It doesn't change their subtype, it just changes them to spirits.
Oh, no, but it changed it.
Cathar says whenever you may sacrifice a spirit for a red man.
Wait, but what does the card say?
It just takes they lose their abilities.
Yeah, but that's the thing is they lose all their abilities. So Cathar
they don't lose their creature type.
No,
They
but
only use
Kaikar
flying.
wouldn't be able to sack them for red mana.
Yeah, well, because they're still spirits.
No, you're let me see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, creature. Oh, creature tokens.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I thought you said creatures. I was like,
I might have said creatures.
sound right?
But no. But remember that deck I was talking about at the beginning of this, the Spellslinger deck.
Yeah.
I am working on that right now, and I could totally just see this, like 2 of these guys on the field, 2 or 3, and then just play with fire or a demise. I might go Grixis for that new black spell that just kills whatever. But playing a lot of just Spellslinger cards, making a bunch of zombies, flipping 2 of them, having a third one on there, and then you just have like these. Oh no, I have like 2 Poppet Stitchers and 1 Poppet Factory. You only need the 1. It doesn't stack. But you just have these 3/3s that are just, they can block, they can hit like a truck, and you don't have to sacrifice them.
Yeah.
I think this is a very just versatile card in any kind of just Spellslinger tokeny deck, or just a Spellslinger deck in general. I'm not sure if this stacks with Storm Trigger. I don't think it does, actually, with Storm Triggers.
What?
The making of the zombies.
Is
Whenever
it
you
an ability?
No, it's whenever you cast. So it doesn't say copy. If it said copy, then yeah, it would totally.
That would be good.
It would be really good. It would work with Magecraft too from
That's true.
Strixhaven.
That is true.
But I think this is going to be a really good Commander All-Star in those Spellslinger decks, and I think I might see this in. I'm going to play this in Modern Storm. I'm going to try it in Modern Storm.
Sweet.
I'm going to see how it works, but I think this is going to be a card we're going to be seeing for a long time now.
That's good.
All right, what's your last card there, Dylan?
It's a card that I think that will stay around for good, and I'm really excited about this card.
Okay.
It actually, it's 5 cards. It is 5 cards together that I just think that they all deserved definitely my number 1 slot for this list.
Are they basic lands?
It is Deserted Beach,
Okay.
Haunted Ridge, Overgrown Farmland, Rockfall Vale, and Shipwreck Marsh. The new dual lands, man. New dual lands. Wow. I can't believe they got that close to reprinting dual lands. They all tap for one or 2 colors. Deserted Beach is white-blue. Haunted Ridge is black-red. Overgrown Farmland is white-green. Rockfall Vale is green-red. And Shipwreck Marsh is blue-black. They're all fantastic, and they all have the exact same ability. They all enter tapped unless you control 2 or more lands.
Nice.
Which is awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think that, that's about as close to alpha dual lands as Wizards of the Coast can get. Because
Shocks?
No. Well, from what they are now.
Yeah.
From like where they are to just true duels.
Yeah. Because they'll never... I would love for them to reprint duels.
They won't do it.
They won't. I think they're scared of the blowback from that whole group of people who are like, oh, we'll sue Wizards, or the reserve list is...
Or we'll quit Magic.
Or we'll quit Magic. It's like, you're not going to quit Magic. We all know you've invested too deep into this.
The thing is that it's not really in Wizards of the Coast benefit to take them off the reserve list.
No.
So
Hasbro, on the other hand, shout out, abolish the reserve list. You have that power, my friend.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I like the reserve list though. I like the reserve list.
It's because you have reserve list cards.
It is. I have many.
Yeah, I know you do.
I like them. They're all very nice. I love my Gilded Drake.
You love that price tag on the Gilded Drake.
No, I love Gilded Drake.
Yeah.
The price is a byproduct of the fact that it's reserve list. But no, Deserted Beach, Haunted Ridge, Overgrown Farmland, Rockfall Vale, Shipwreck Marsh, definitely all cards that should be auto includes in any of those 2-color decks.
Yeah.
Dimir, Selesnya,
Rakdos,
Gruul, and Azorius.
Yep.
Those are all great.
And it completes that cycle from a while ago too.
Right, but the old cycle was basic lands. So they entered tap unless you controlled 2 basic lands.
Yeah, they were basics, but
so these are just 2 lands. So you don't. And with Commander and the way that Commander is, you have a lot of non-basics.
Oh yeah,
you have a lot of non-basic lands. Command Tower. I mean, any of the other any of the other dual lands. Other dual lands or powerful lands that you're throwing in your deck.
I'm putting these in my my Tazker deck because I think I'm running like 3 basics right now.
Yeah.
But
I mean, these cards are great. I feel like they're perfect, and I'm not a big advocate for dual lands. I don't like the idea of dual lands. Of someone thinking that they need to purchase a $400 dual land,
I
unless
need
it's
to
just
buy
to
this-
say
yeah.
the only reason you buy a $400 dual land is to say I have a dual land.
Yes.
That's it.
I mean,
That's all. That's the only reason you got dual lands. And not dissing anyone who has them.
No,
if you
if
do,
you-
they're really cool cards. I mean, if you got them, play them.
I love that old style. Like with the text, they have that rectangle pattern. I fucking love that pattern.
Yeah,
in the old
absolutely. I just think that especially for new players, don't feel like you have to go out and
Don't
pay
be obligated to be like to make your deck great. In all ways, it's always going to be the lands. Those are always the most expensive part of
your
any deck.
mana base does not have to be $500. It's that simple.
No, yeah.
You don't need the ancient tombs. You don't need
Well, hold on. Ancient Tomb.
ancient tombs. $50. I don't want to pay $50 for ancient tomb.
I'll pay $50 for any Ancient Tomb.
$50
Ancient Tomb's like one of my favorite lands.
Gaia's Cradle. You don't need a Gaia's Cradle.
God no, I'm a huge advocate for. I would more advocate like, hey, don't buy like in WotC's always printing like bootleg like there's Growing Rights of Iklamok, there's that Cabal.
There's that new chick that one elf chick from
who's Guy's Cradle? Yeah,
there's a Gaia's Cradle from
the
Forgotten Realms.
Druid of Circle of Dreams or whatever.
That's right.
Yep.
Circle of Dreams Druid.
But no, I like that. I'm really happy these lands came back, especially like me, the standard player talking here. Coming in, it's like okay, they're getting rid of triomes because those are rotating out of standard. Well,
yeah, that's too bad.
You don't care about standard.
Well, I'm actually kind of excited for them to rotate out of standard because then they'll be super cheap and I'm gonna buy them up.
They're not gonna be cheap. We all know this.
They want them to.
Oh, I would love for them to be cheap.
I'd love them to be cheap.
I keep picking them up because I know in like the next 3 years they're gonna be like shocked where they spike up again or whatever.
Yeah. Basic land types, man.
But no, I like the fact that like they get rid of these triomes. They gave us new dual lands because Rakdos is one of those things I love to play in standard too.
Yeah.
Because I like being that chaotic, stupid nature of black and
the
red.
only downside to these lands, they're not fetchable.
No.
They're not fetchable. The other ones are.
Yes.
The ones that require you to have 2 basic lands and they come in untapped, they are fetchable.
Yeah. You gotta have
these
your
are
pros
not,
and your cons and your drawbacks. For
these
those
are
kinds of
not,
things.
but they are fantastic.
Oh my god, if these things were fetchable.
Nah. I think that's how they differentiate between dual land.
That's how they be like, okay, what makes a land that taps for multiple colors broken? Basic land types. How do we not make this broken but give it a good effect? Take away the basic land typing.
Yeah. That's pretty simple for me. I mean, that's my last card on my list. Brody, what's the last card?
My last card is something I looked at first and I thought, oh, well, that's kind of mediocre. I don't see the point of this. Okay, it maybe gets a little value. But then after looking at it and playing with it a little bit more, and then thinking of it in like a wider spectrum, it is Rite of Harmony. It's green-white, so Selesnya, for a instant that says, whenever a creature or an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card. So, yes, it has flashback as well, which flashback is nice. Its flashback cost is 2 green white. Then flashback is you may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it.
You know what the first 2 things I can think about are?
Is it humans and tokens?
It is humans and tokens.
Yes, I know you too well.
It is humans and tokens and parallel lives and doubling season and anything that's gonna get. Oh god, there's so much.
They saw this
There's
card,
so much
built it,
ability
and
for
it's like
value there.
we need to make this Selesnya.
Yeah,
The art is really cool. I think the art is by the art I like it. It's by I can't read that print. It's so small.
See it.
But I like it. It's so cool. But no, I saw this and I have a lot of green white token decks.
Yeah, Ravima Kai. If
You
I'm
can
pronouncing that correctly.
My blind eyes can't read anything.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But no, it's
Yeah, so you're basically just making absurd numbers of tokens
Yes.
and just drawing a ton of cards and just waiting for a turn where you can get just a ton of value for 1 green and 1 white mana.
Yes, and then you flash back at next turn and do the same thing. But so you think of green's card draw, it's usually creatures that have power 4 or greater.
So yeah,
it's like Colossal Majesty and stuff like that. Well, all these tokens are 1/1s or 2/2s.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a 3/3. It's like, well, how am I gonna draw this? Well, this card solves all your problems. So you draw into more gas, and then you play that gas, and then you draw more gas, and you play that, and then you flash it back next turn, and you do it all over again.
it's perfect in any green white token.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It has that value too, where you do this, you go wide, leave yourself open, and then there's always going to be that board wipe. You can do it all over again.
Right. No kidding.
And if
Flashback is great. Great effect.
And
it's one of my favorite things in Magic, actually.
Flashback.
I love Flashback. Just the ability to be like, it's not broken though.
No.
Like it's like, oh yeah, I can play this card again. It's going to cost more, and then it's going to exile. But I get the effect a second time, which is awesome.
Right. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, that was our top 20 cards that we believe we liked them. That's our top 20 from Innistrad Midnight Hunt.
Yeah.
What are your guys' top cards of Innistrad? What do you think we should have put some cards on this list? We did put a couple obvious ones like Televar, Play with Fire,
Ren and 7.
Because
a lot of those cards are just really good, and they're on every other list.
Yeah, we saw, like, I was looking at those cards. I'm like, okay, when I'm making my list, I'm like, I know these are going to be on other people's lists. I know it's an obvious pick.
It's really obvious which cards, because it's like the first 6 cards that are going to get spoiled on every set are going to be the most popular ones. Like Teferi.
We picked some ones that are probably going to make, like Poppet Stitcher and Meathook Massacre, because they have that mythic label. But
Meathook Massacre is definitely going to be one of those cards that you see quite a bit. Vanquish the Horde might be another one, because I think a 2-mana board wipe is going to be absurd.
Yeah.
For the format, and I don't know. There's a lot of stuff from Innistrad that I think are really good. I don't think it'll hold a lot of value.
No.
The set itself doesn't hold a lot of value.
No, it's a powered down set.
But it's still got a lot of good cards.
It has a lot of good cards. It's gonna be. I feel like
it's a buy single set.
It's 100%.
It is a set where you buy singles.
I am the only time I will quote unquote buy a box is if I know there are a number of cards, like uncommons and commons, that at least reach over $50 if I pull that many. Or I have a really bad itch that I need to scratch.
Yeah.
Which is almost every week.
I will buy boxes once they come back out with lottery cards.
Okay. But, yeah.
When lottery cards come back, that's when I'll buy boxes.
Yes, more child gambling with cards.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like lottery cards.
But that's going to do it for us. I'm Brody Hansen.
And I'm Dylan Hartman. And this is the Dylan and Brody Our Magic podcast. We're still new to this.
See you later, you Midwestern mages.
Subscribe and like.
Or don't.
Subscribe. Or don't. It's up to you.